The anniversaries below are the Arsenal, and for historical context, occasionally one or two non-Arsenal anniversaries for today taken from the files of over 6,000 Arsenal anniversaries which appear on the Arsenal History Society website. You will also find links to the month-by-month listing of anniversaries in the right-hand column of this page. Today's headline comes from 1953. The big series, Henry Norris at the Arsenal, is now complete. The index to all the articles can be found at Henry Norris at the Arsenal. We are now preparing a more concise edition for publication as a book. Arsenal in the 1930s, The Complete History, the most detailed review and analysis of Arsenal in the 1930s ever published. The full index is here. Arsenal in the 1970s, The Complete History, every game reviewed and analyzed. The full index is here. The anniversaries for today, the 3rd of January 1908, Dr. James Marshall, known as Jimmy, was born in Avon Bridge, in Stirlingshire and started out with junior club Shettlestone in the East End of Glasgow before joining Rangers in 1925, where he stayed for 9 years, winning 5 league trophies. The 3rd of January 1911, Winston Churchill, the Home Secretary, took the unprecedented step, one which has since never been repeated, of personally leading the Metropolitan Police in action against a criminal gang, in this case a group of Latvian anarchists who were trapped in a house in Sydney Street in the East End of London following a jewel robbery. The 3rd of January 1913, Ralph James Evans Burkitt was born in Dartmouth, Devon, or according to other sources Newton Abbot, or Ellicombe Torquay, neither of which are far away, on the 3rd of January 1913, the 9th of January in some sources. He joined Arsenal in 1933 for £1,518 and was one of Chapman's last signings. The 3rd of January 1919, soldiers blockaded Folkestone Harbour in a successful protest against being returned to France. This was in effect a mutiny, and in the face of it the government caved in, undoubtedly aware that the mood of the population had changed. 4 years of privation had left their mark, and the populace now wanted a return to normal life. The 3rd of January 1920, Arsenal drew 2-2 at home with Manchester City, but the game saw the loss of their first-choice right-back and first-choice keeper, and in the next 6 games Arsenal lost 5 and won 1. The 3rd of January 1925, a 1-2 away defeat to Liverpool starts a run of 6 consecutive defeats during which Arsenal scored just 2 goals. It was the run which finally ensured that Leslie Knighton would be replaced by Herbert Chapman as manager. The 3rd of January 1934, despite feeling unwell, Herbert Chapman went to watch the Arsenal, a team. Mr. Chapman was warned to take it easy, but he refused, and tragically died from pneumonia on January 6, aged 55. The 3rd of January 1951, having been rejected by Wolverhampton, Dennis Evans was signed by Arsenal for £1,500. He subsequently played over 200 games for Arsenal, his only club. The 3rd of January 1953, Arsenal lost 1-3 at home to Sunderland and as a result slipped from 2nd in the league down to 6th. John Sperling recounts the story that Peter Goring was confronted by a fan who said that he'd seen the Arsenal team of the 30s and that the current team wasn't fit to lick their boots. Peter is quoted as saying, "I wasn't the only player to be confronted in such a way. Some of the other boys also got hassle from fans, which wasn't nice." The 3rd of January 1977, Alan Hudson, the man who quite amazingly gave Stoke City creativity, made his debut with Arsenal in a 1-1 draw with Leeds in front of 44,090 spectators. The 3rd of January 1981, Everton 2 Arsenal 0. After 3 consecutive FA Cup finals, Arsenal went out in the 3rd round. The same happened in 1982, a third-round defeat to Tottenham, and Arsenal did not reach another cup final until 1993. The 3rd of January 1994, Arsenal 0 QPR 0. The start of a 5-match sequence of drawn games. 2 were goalless, 3 were 1-1. This was the second sequence of draws this season. In October, Arsenal had played 4 consecutive goalless games. 3rd of January 1998, Arsenal 0 Port Vale 0, FA Cup Round 3. The first cup game of the second double, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. The 3rd of January 1999, Sir Alex Ferguson's notorious speech published in Sunday Times in which he claimed Arsenal were responsible for numerous fights on the pitch in what was the most blatant piece of public ref-fixing seen thus far. Ferguson claimed he then apologized, but Arsene Wenger said, if he sent an apology it must have been by horse. The 3rd of January 2011, Aaron Ramsey's loan with Nottingham Forest, which aimed to help him recover after his horrific injury, was completed successfully.